To make hip padding, you have to draw out your skirt block first, and this is me doing that. I'm gonna head to label all the lines here. I've labeled the waist, the hip line, and the upper knee line because this is not up to my knee length. Then for the back piece, I have the under boot line. This is where you measure from your waist to your under boot. So this measurement here is 13 inches, and I also have my upper knee line. This is my waistline. So I'm just writing this so you'll know the difference. This is the front and the other one is the back. I'm just writing down the 13 inches I said I measured from my waist to my under boot. Then from my waist to my upper knee, the length is 15 inches. Next, I'm going to mark out my waist measurement, my hip measurement, and my round knee measurement. That's my knee circumference. I added 2 inches to my hip circumference. The reason I did that is because the foam that I'll be using has a width of 0.5 inch, and I'll be needing 4 pieces of that foam. That is 0.5 times 4 gives 2 inches. After connecting the points, I will proceed to the front waistline, and I'm going to mark 1 inch downward because I didn't want my padding to get to the waistline. Next, I will go to my hip line and mark 6 inches. See the way I mark 6 inches? Then I will connect. This is a big size. If it's a small size, you can go by 5 inches, you can go by 5.5. Then I'm going to use my ruler to connect this. Once I'm done connecting, I would go to the back and do the same. I'm going to come down by 1 inch like I did for the front part. Then at the center back, I'm just going to label the center back so you don't mess it up. At the center back, I'm going to come in by 1 inch. Reason is because the padding must not get to the center line, so that is why I'm going in by 1 inch. Then at the under boot line, I'm going to go in also by 5 inches. Hope you understand. Please, if you do not understand, you can take your time to watch this video again. Then after marking my 5 inches, I'm going to connect the lines. See the way I connected the lines, just so that I can get the shape that I want. After connecting, I'm just going to cut this out and my padding pattern is ready. Next is to use this pattern that I have drafted out to cut my padding. So please, if you've watched to this point and you're yet to subscribe to my channel, kindly subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up, to share this video, and do not forget to turn on your notification bell. I've gone ahead to use this pattern to cut out my foam, and as you can see, I have 2 pieces of this foam for each of this pattern. For me not to mess up this padding, I'm trying to use pins to indicate where I'm going to trim off where is the right part. You can make use of marker or whatever works for you. Once I'm done pinning, I will go ahead and trim off these areas on the wrong side. You see, I didn't trim the entire place off. I left the side untrimmed. The reason I left the side untrimmed is because I want more volume there. So that is why I didn't trim everywhere. So I'm just using these parts to show you how to trim this. You need to trim very well so that by the time this is worn, it would lay very flat on your skin and it will appear very natural. So that is why you have to take your time to trim this very well. Also, while trimming, you want to be very careful so that you do not cut through to the right side. This is what it looks like. Next, I want to add more volume to the boot area, not to the hip area, to the boots. So see where I'm placing it. I'm just gonna head to cut a circular form to place there. Then I will also trim it so that it lays very flat by the time I glue it to the boots. So I have 2 of these and I have gone ahead to glue it onto the boots form. After gluing that, I will proceed to line the edges of my padding with a stay. I do not want to cover this up with a stay because I'm going to be attaching this to a short and I'll be using a lining to cover it up. I've gone ahead to press down the stay to my padding. Next, I will just go ahead to glue them together. I didn't sew the sides together, I glued instead. The reason is because, like I said, I wanted more volume there. So if I had sewn, it's going to reduce the volume for me. So that is why I use glue. After that, I sewed 3 stitches on the edges of this padding so that it lays very flat, and that is the reason I lined the edges with this stay so that I can sew on it conveniently. Then I will just show you how to place this. I'm using a shirt for this padding instead of a skirt. So I've just sewn the side of the shirt and I've placed the padding on it. Because it's a shirt where I added 2 inches extra to the back part, the side of this padding would not fit to the side of the shirt because the back is wider than the front. So, and if I want to place this onto my shirt, I would not place it 1 inch away from the center back. I'll place it 1.5 inch because of my ½ inch seam allowance for the shorts, and then 1 inch from the waist area. So I'll just go ahead to sew round, and this is what it looks like. My shirt is ready. I've fixed in my padding to it, and this is the wrong side. See how beautiful it looks. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one.